welcome to the Pink Table Talk. My name is Dana Johnson, your host, and with me today is my friend, Bernadette Kiper. Thank you for joining me today for the conversation. So a little backstory about why I invited Bernadette to have a seat at the table is we go back to childhood. We became friends via our church affiliation. And I'm honored that she decided to come and have the conversation and share her story. So again, thank you.
You're welcome.
So to begin with, if you could please just share your personal story and journey when you were told that you were diagnosed with breast cancer.
Well, I was told I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 45 years old. When I turned 40, I started getting breast exams like everybody do, and every time I had to go back. So every year I just knew. So this time it was a little different. I maybe went on a Wednesday or Thursday. The very next day they were calling me, and I said to myself, something not right. So I had to go back and make appointments to have biopsies and all these things done, tests done, and then after the biopsy, the lady told me I had breast cancer. And I was by myself, and I cried like a big baby, and she told me to pull myself together, and that this is not the end, and we're gonna get this taken care of. And then I went home and cried some more.
I totally get it. Having lost my mother 17 years ago, I still have those cry moments, but I have learned to, in a sense, heal from that, and kind of is the birth of the Pink Table Talk, and being able to bring these conversations to the two of us as well as to the people who are listening. And we appreciate you, joining us for the conversation. So next, I'd be kind of curious as to if you could tell me a little bit about your family dynamic and how your close personal friends and your family were supportive of you once you discovered. You mentioned that you were alone, but at some point we want to be able to have a conversation or have that close confidant. How did you handle like the next steps from there?
I'm a share. I share everything with everybody, so anybody who was listening knew.
Okay.
When I found out I had to have the biopsy and they told me that I had to have, to have surgery to get rid of it, my sisters came with me when we had the plan to figure out what the steps were going to be. I decided right then and there I was having a double mastectomy. I'm adopted. I didn't know where, if the breast cancer could come back, so I couldn't take any chances. And I had a double mastectomy. My daughter, she was older, my son, they helped a lot at the house. My friends from work came, fed me. Just my family, everything just kind of rallied around. My church family was constantly in prayer for me, and it wasn't just me, it was all of us that was kind of going through it, because you didn't know, like, I never had surgery that big before, and it was out for 16 hours, and then one part that you kind of feel like you're not gonna, your life gonna come to an end, but it's overwhelming, and it was scary. And then after a while, you just start to keep praying, and God took care of me, and that's the reason that I made it through.
I commend you on having that thought process about it, and I followed your journey. You shared a lot on Facebook, and that's where I became aware of the situation, and just kind of reached out to you, not only as a friend, but someone, like I said, who's been an advocate for the last 17 years, and just felt comfortable in saying, I have some resources, I have some things that I'm familiar with that may not be, discussed just on like a friendship level, but anything that I could do, just to help. And we shared, those conversations. So I appreciate you, for just being able to say that, because there may be someone else that's listening that may be sharing some of those same feelings and just don't know what to do or don't have the extent of a support network like you had.
Right.
So I think it's very important. The other thing that I was kind of curious about, as a mother, and you're also an educator, which I commend you on as well, especially in the midst of a pandemic that we're in right now. And I'm grateful for all teachers. Like I literally say, a prayer for y'all.
Thank you.
Throughout the day, every day, because it's a lot. But as a mother, a teacher, and a survivor, how have you coped with your experience thus far? And I use cope loosely because, as you and I both know, like cancer does not go away. It is 365. So how have you coped in like those different hats that you wear? And again, as a mother, a teacher, and also a survivor.
As a mother, when you hear you have cancer, you think that you're not going to be around to take care of your children. So then I think because of that, I mean, I love my children, but I feel like I loved on them a little bit harder too, because you just didn't know what was going to happen. As a teacher, that was hard. Everybody knows I love my students. They like my babies. And to have been gone from them for like 6 to 8 weeks, knowing like, are they going to get the things that they need in terms of like the work that they need? You know, I struggled with that. Like I felt like I was trying to hurry up to get better so I could get back, take care of my kids and get back to work to my students because I missed them. And then as a survivor, I try to share my story with people who ask. When I find out people who have cancer, for some reason, even friends that call me and want me to talk to them, just about my journey, because my journey is kind of different from everybody else's journey. And I just, I'm open to suggestions that they want me, just to listen. Sometimes people just need a sounding board.
Sure.
So I think as a mother, I just wanted to feel like I wanted to stick around. Mm-hmm. As a teacher, I love my job. Teaching is who I am. And I felt, in a way, you felt bad because I had to leave them. I had to take care of myself, but I also had to leave them because I had to take care of myself. And I think the healing part and trying to hurry up and get well was so I could get back to my students.
That's so humbling.
So, yeah. And then I think as a survivor, you and other people here, they have cancer. Their situation might not be my situation, but at the end of the day, I think sometimes people just need some reassurance that it's going to be okay. And sometimes it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Would you be so inclined to be able to talk about just your journey as you've gone through being diagnosed and now coming out on the other side as a survivor, for many people who may be watching with us today and just may have questions from that point of view and how you've come out on the other side?
I think one of the things is you have to have support. You need to have people that you trust to maybe even go with you to the appointments. Your head is all over the place. You need like another set of ears just to kind of hear what was said. I personally am a sharer, so I share a lot. I talk about a lot of different things and my feelings. And also just, advocate for yourself. If you don't feel like something is right, speak up. You get home, you got a question, call the doctors. That's what they're supposed to do. And just really just try to, and just keep praying. God is good and he will see you through. This is, you will come out on the other side. That's what I would share with people.
Would you mind sharing your birth date, the day that you mentioned about the double mastectomy?
Yeah. And
people tend to resonate with those dates because it is a celebration that you've come an additional year.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in November. I had my double mastectomy January the 13th. And this January 13th coming up will be 4 years that I'll be in remission. So it's been good.
Well, I appreciate your time and for having a seat at the table and sharing with us your story and your journey. And I appreciate you for being with us as well. And I'm so excited to share today that the candle that you see placed was recently given to me, and I wrote this piece to just be able to express my appreciation. The Pink Table Talk will be offering our fabulously scented, custom labeled Pink Table Talk candle. Each one hand poured by Cheyenne Candles as a symbol of continuous support to the causes and awareness of breast cancer. The candle light, we'd like to say, represents an eternal flame that will burn in memory to the lives lost and in commemoration to those who continue the fight with cancer and our never-ending crusade to bring awareness. Proceeds from purchasing go to the building of the Pink Table Talk advocacy and outreach, as well as our ability to support other programs and agencies in kind. Thank you for joining us.